International students planning their academic futures usually assume they must start adult life in a massive financial hole to get a respected degree. In the United States, studying as an international student comes with a brutal reality. Tuition and living expenses routinely hit $40,000 to $80,000 every single year. This chart compares the annual cost of U.S. higher education against a popular alternative, Italy. Including tuition and living expenses, Italy averages 10,000 to 12,000 euros annually. Over a 4-year bachelor's, the gap balloons over $200,000. That is the debt trap. When looking at a price difference that extreme, the immediate instinct is to assume the cheaper option delivers a lower quality education. But an increasing number of ambitious international students are realizing that the European higher ed system offers one of the best educational arbitrage opportunities available today. That massive $200,000 gap you pay in the States doesn't buy smarter professors or better books. It reflects two entirely different national business models. Italian public universities are deeply embedded historical institutions, supported heavily by the state, rather than private corporations operating for profit. Because of this, public university tuition in Italy typically ranges from a minimum of 300 to around 3,000 euros per year. Even top-tier private institutions cap out around 20,000 euros. Many regions also offer DSU scholarships, which calculate your tuition and provide access to reduced-price housing and canteens based on your family's income. To offset living costs further, the Italian study residence permit legally allows you to work up to 20 hours a week. Compare that lean structure to the American university model. U.S. colleges operate as all-inclusive, highly curated resorts. When you study in Italy, you trade away the massive dorm complexes, the campus lazy rivers, and the intense, hand-holding administrative staff checking in on your every move. You have to act like an independent adult immediately. You will navigate the local housing market, find your own apartment, and manage your daily schedule in the middle of a real, functioning city. You are paying less because you are opting out of a wildly expensive resort fee, not because you are compromising on your education. We have to address the global university rankings. If you pull up the top 20 lists, U.S. institutions dominate the results. This matrix shows how global rankings calculate scores. Algorithms reward multi-billion-dollar endowments, sprawling campuses, and massive research volume. Look strictly at methodological rigor, theoretical depth, and teaching quality, and the gap between the U.S. and Italy narrows significantly. Italian academia relies on a centuries-old tradition that demands intense theoretical foundations. Unlike the more flexible U.S. system, Italy prioritizes a rigorous scientific approach and deep interaction with the material. This approach has built heavyweights that command global respect: Ptolemy for engineering, Sapienza for classics and medicine, and Unibo for law. The system is also integrated into the Bologna process, a standardized framework used to harmonize European higher education. This means an Italian degree carries full legal and professional weight across the entire European continent. The trade-off is straightforward. Without an Ivy League brand name to do the work for you, you have to be ready to sell your actual competencies to employers. Weighing solid competencies and European recognition against the price tag makes it clear: prestige pricing is a marketing tax, not a reliable measure. Pragmatic. Accessing this system does require you to navigate the Italian bureaucracy. For a non-EU citizen, the paperwork can look intimidating from the outside. The baseline rule is strict. You need 12 years of previous schooling to enter a bachelor's program. For a master's, your previous degree must perfectly match the discipline you want to study. Italy does not let you pivot blindly. You cannot study literature for 4 years and then apply for a master's in mechanical engineering. Your first real hurdle is validation. You have to submit your past transcripts for evaluation through an agency called CIMEA and register your intent to study on the government's Universitaly portal. Once the university accepts you, you apply for a Type D study visa from your home country. When you finally land in Italy, you have exactly 8 days to submit your application for the permesso di soggiorno, your residence permit. This timeline chart maps out the process. It's a linear progression. You wait 2 to 6 weeks for the Universitaly portal, another 2 to 6 weeks for the visa, and then hit the 8A deadline upon arrival. It requires high organizational discipline. You trade financial stress for paperwork. This quadrant chart plots your options by cost and quality. Italy sits in the low-cost, high-quality zone. The US occupies the extreme cost space. If you need handled housing, meals, or a famous brand name to feel secure, the Italian system is not for you. But if you are a globally minded student who wants top-tier medical, STEM, or humanities training, and you refuse to spend the next 20 years paying off student loans, Italy is a perfect fit. While the Universitaly and visa paperwork requires attention to detail, it follows a standard, predictable sequence of steps that millions of students complete every year. Go to the Universitaly portal today and check the exact academic requirements for your target degree. Higher education is supposed to give you leverage in your career. Do not let it become the financial anchor that holds you back.